Every day we wake up, and the first voice we hear is our own. The thoughts that come into our mind, the words we say to ourselves, they shape the way we feel, the way we act, and ultimately the way we live, yet most of us don't even realize how powerful those words are. We repeat the same thoughts over and over again, often without thinking, and slowly they become our reality. If you wake up and tell yourself, I'm not good enough, then you will carry that belief with you throughout the day. If you say, I can't do this, then you will find every excuse to prove yourself right. But what if I told you that you have the power to change your life simply by changing your words? What if I told you that the way you speak to yourself could be the difference between success and failure, between happiness and misery, between giving up and pushing forward? It all starts with a simple habit: choosing the right words and saying them to yourself every single day. Not once, not twice, but 100 times, until they become the foundation of who you are. There was a time in my life when I believed everything the world told me. People said, you are broken. They said, your dreams are over. And I believed them. I let those words settle in my heart like poison. And slowly they drained the life out of me. I stopped believing in myself. I stopped hoping, I stopped dreaming, and that is what happens when you allow negative words to take control. You lose yourself in them. But one day, I decided I had enough. I decided I would no longer let someone else's words define me. If I was going to live, if I was going to fight, then I needed to tell myself a new story, and so I started speaking to myself with power, with belief, with confidence. I told myself, I am not weak, I am strong. I told myself, I am not broken, I am unbreakable. I told myself, I am not less than anyone, I am enough. At first, it felt strange. I didn't fully believe it, but I kept saying it. I kept repeating those words over and over 100 times a day if I had to, until something incredible happened. My mind started to change. My heart started to believe, and my life started to transform. That is the power of words. They have the ability to rebuild you when you feel shattered, to lift you up when the world tries to pull you down, to remind you of who you are when you start to forget. But you have to say them, you have to speak them with conviction, with faith, with determination. You have to drown out the negativity with your own voice. Because the truth is, the world will always try to tell you who you are. It will try to label you, to limit you, to make you believe that you're not capable. But the only voice that truly matters is your own. If you keep saying, I am strong, I am capable, I am unstoppable, then no matter what the world throws at you, you will stand tall. No matter how many obstacles come your way, you will overcome them. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your reality. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there by telling themselves, I'm not good enough? Do you think they reached their dreams by saying, I'll never make it? No. They spoke power into their lives. They told themselves, I can do this, even when no one else believed in them. They repeated it so many times that it became a part of them. And that is what you must do. You must speak your success into existence. You must tell yourself every single day, I am worthy, I am capable, I am destined for greatness. And you must say it not just once, but 100 times, if that's what it takes for you to believe it. Because belief is everything. And if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect the world to? If you don't have faith in your own abilities, how can you ever reach your full potential? I know that some of you may be thinking, but what if I don't feel strong? What if I don't feel capable? That is exactly why you must say it. Words are not just reflections of how we feel. They have the power to shape how we feel. If you wake up feeling defeated and say, I am powerful, your brain will resist it first. But the more you say it, the more it starts to sink in. The more you repeat it, the more your body starts to believe it. And before you know it, that word becomes your truth. That is why it is so important to be intentional with your words. Do not let doubt be the loudest voice in your head. Do not let fear control your inner dialogue. Take control. Make the choice to fill your mind with words of power. There will be days when the world tries to shake you, days when everything seems to be going wrong, days when you feel like giving up. And in those moments, your words will either be your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. If you say, this is too hard, I can't do it, you will believe it and you will stop trying. But if you say, I am strong, I am capable, I am unstoppable, then no matter how difficult the challenge, you will find the strength to push through. That is why you must repeat it. Not once, not twice, but 100 times until it becomes so deeply ingrained in your soul that nothing can shake it. I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine waking up every morning and instead of feeling doubt, you feel confidence. Instead of feeling fear, you feel power. Instead of questioning yourself, you trust yourself completely. That is what happens when you take control of your words. That is what happens when you choose to speak greatness into your life. So I ask you today, what words are you choosing? What story are you telling yourself? Because your words are shaping your future. And if you want a future filled with success, with strength, with happiness, then you must start by saying it today. Not once, not twice, but 100 times until it becomes your truth. Words are not just sounds, they are the foundation upon which we build our lives. Every time you speak, you are creating your future, whether you realize it or not. When you say something over and over again, your mind starts to accept it as truth. That is why so many people stay stuck in cycles of negativity because they keep repeating words that reinforce their fears and doubts. They wake up and say, I'm tired, and so they feel exhausted all day. They say, I'll never be successful, and so they never take the actions needed to succeed. They say, I don't deserve happiness, and so they sabotage every good thing that comes their way. But the good news is, just as words can create pain and limitations, they can also create strength and possibilities. You have the power to choose what kind of words you allow into your life. You have the power to rewrite your story with the words you speak every single day. And that is why I say it 100 times every day. I am strong. I am capable. I am unstoppable. Because when you say it enough times, you don't just hear it, you believe it. And when you believe it, you become it. There were times in my life when I felt like giving up. Times when I thought my struggles were too big, my pain too deep, my future too uncertain. I remember looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person staring back at me. I remember feeling like I had lost everything, my dreams, my purpose, my strength. But in those moments, I had a choice. I could either continue telling myself a story of defeat, or I could start speaking a new truth into existence. I chose the second option. I stood in front of that mirror and said to myself, I am not weak. I am strong. I am not lost. I am finding my way. I am not broken. I am rebuilding. At first, those words felt empty. I didn't believe them right away, but I said them anyway. I said them again, 100 times if I had to, until they started to sink in, until my heart started to believe what my mind was resisting. And slowly, I started to change. My posture became stronger, my mindset became clearer, my determination became unshakable. Not because my circumstances had changed, but because my words had changed. That is a secret most people don't understand. They think confidence is something you are born with. They think strength is something you either have or you don't. But confidence and strength are built. They are created through the words you speak and the beliefs you reinforce. If you tell yourself every day, I am worthy, you will start to walk like someone who is worthy. If you tell yourself, I am fearless, you will start taking risks and facing challenges with courage. But if you keep saying, I'm not good enough, then no matter how much potential you have, you will always hold yourself back. That is why I want you to take control of your words. I want you to make a promise to yourself that from this moment forward, you will no longer speak words of doubt, words of fear, words of limitation. Instead, you will fill your mind with words of power. You will remind yourself every single day, I am strong, I am capable, I am unstoppable. And you won't just say it once. You will say it 100 times until there is no room left for doubt. Some people might think this is silly. They might say, how can repeating words make a difference? But let me ask you this. How has repeating negative words affected your life? How has telling yourself, I can't, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, shape your experiences? If those words have held you back, then imagine what the right words can do for you. Imagine waking up every morning and telling yourself, I am destined for greatness, I am full of possibilities, I am powerful beyond measure. Imagine saying it so many times that your brain starts to believe it, your heart starts to feel it, and your actions start to reflect it. Because that is exactly what will happen. You will start walking with confidence, making bolder choices, pushing past fear, and achieving things you never thought possible. The truth is, life will always test you. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when everything seems to go wrong, when the challenges feel overwhelming. And in those moments, the words you choose will either lift you up or tear you down. If you let negativity take over, if you allow yourself to say, I can't do this, then you will give up. But if in that moment you stand tall and say, I am strong, I am capable, I am unstoppable, then no matter how hard things get, you will keep going, you will push through, you will rise above. That is why it is not enough to say it once. You must say it 100 times, 1,000 times if you have to, until those words become the fire that keeps you moving forward, no matter what stands in your way. I know this works because I have lived it. I have seen the power of words transform my own life, and I have seen it change the lives of so many others. I have seen people who once doubted themselves rise up with confidence. I have seen people who once felt lost find direction and purpose. And it all started with a decision to speak differently, to stop feeding their minds with limitations and start filling their hearts with power. And if they can do it, so can you. Right now, I want you to think about the words you have been speaking to yourself. Have they been words of encouragement or words of doubt? Have they been lifting you up or pulling you down? And most importantly, are you ready to change them? Because if you are, then today is the day. This is the moment. It all starts with a simple commitment to say it every single day, not once, not twice, but 100 times. To declare to yourself and to the world,